listeners, welcome once again to another edition of our literary program, which is known as In Conversation with Young Minds. As you all very well know, those of you who have been following this program religiously, that every month we bring before you students of different colleges, youngsters who are into creative writing. And today we are once again here in the midst of three students. Well, they are the students of Union Christian College, that is also known as UCC, located at Umyam. So they've traveled all the way from the beautiful scenic location called Umyam, and they are today here in the studios of Doordarshan Shillong to talk about themselves, to talk about their writing zeal, their creativity, and what really took them into this field. So let's go ahead, interact with them, you be there on the other side and enjoy this program. Joining me right now in this program, we have three students. I have with me Pinhunlang Supai. Yes. We are also being joined by Deity Bajanai Suting, and towards my extreme left is Yumto Hoding. Hi there guys, and a very, very warm welcome to you to Doordarshan Shillong.
Thank you, ma'am.
How do you all feel being in the studios of Doordarshan?
Very blessed.
Very blessed and happy?
Yes.
Excited to talk about it,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
I have given a very, very brief introduction about each one of you, right? So let's start with a proper introduction. Yumto, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Yumto Hodong. I was born and raised in the land of the rising sun, Arunachal Pradesh. I'm currently pursuing my BA in English Literature from one of Meghalaya's great institute, Union Christian College. And to the core of my brain, I could remember it was 2021 when I grabbed my pen, the weapon, and ran the words on my blank paper, and I was mesmerized to see the words splash on the paper as in abundance as raindrops on the ground.
Wow, that's a very, very poetic style of introducing yourself. Wonderful, thank you so much. We will come back to you and interact with you a little bit more. Let's come to you, Deity. Introduce yourself a little bit more. What are your hobbies? What do you do, etc.?
I am Deity Suting, a daughter of a very loving parents. I started my academic journey in economics department in Union Christian College, but then I fell in love more into literature, and that is why I shifted to English department in my third semester. I was very interested in how the society works and not just why. My writing style is mostly, it comes from a place of discomfort, anger, and sometimes even frustration.
Wonderful. You know, switching over just for the love of creativity, right? Wonderful. And let's come to you, Pinhunlang. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Pinhunlang Supai, son from the soil of Diwan Riboy district, famously known for its unique arid silt, Jain India. Currently, I pursue my graduation in Union Christian College in the Department of History, and currently I'm in the 5th semester. And I'm very happy to be here today.
Wonderful. You know, whenever I have got youngsters like you all, they were not necessarily from the literature background. Today he's from the history background, and that shows that, you know, creative writing is not a forte of only few. It can be to anybody who actually thinks and wants to express in pen and paper, right? So now, as I come back to you all again, Yumto, what kind of works do you really write? What really, because you come from the land of the rising sun, beautiful land indeed, with so many tribes and sub-tribes, and so many beautiful things in that place, you know, Arunachal Pradesh. So what really took you into writing?
As I mentioned, it was 2021 when I started my journey writing, and formerly I was in commerce branch.
Okay.
Then in that year, in particular year in 2021, I realized, I discovered myself that I can write, or I'll continue my journey in writing. And hence to this date, I write what I feel, I write what I think, and I write what I see to console my heart and to satisfy my mind.
Okay. So what is it that you see that really is, you are penning those down?
Yeah, basically my themes when I write are on nature, particularly, and it's basically, it revolves around the human soul, about life particularly, and that I basically, when I sit for writing or when I think myself about to write or about to take a topic, it comes involuntarily, I would say.
Okay.
It comes about life, nature, and death.
Okay.
So I try to.
You're a thinking person, that is, right? You
Yeah.
think about all these things a little bit, I guess, deeper.
Yeah, I'm a bit overthinking, I would say.
Okay. All right. So, Deity, you said that sometimes anger, frustration.
Yes,
So, you know, I can see all of you all are carrying such lovely diaries in front of you. So, that's your, you know, sponge who
Yes,
takes
ma'am.
in all your anger and frustration.
Yes,
What
yes.
makes you angry?
Ma'am, as we are the youths now, we feel very frustrated, and particularly me myself, I feel very angry at how pretentious everything and everyone is. As I said before, my writings mostly come from a place of frustration and anger, and I think that we are too stuck up in a place where we are just living above the clouds. We are so pretentious we don't really see what is happening. We are looking at above the rock and not beneath the rock. And so I feel like, especially the youths, we are having a lot of this problem where people, you know, they pretend like everything is okay, but then
So, you
deep
can
down.
give me one example. What is it that they are pretending about?
Basically, for me, I think it is the job factor. You know, unless your family or your father knows someone, you basically can't get anywhere at all.
Okay.
I feel like
Nepotism.
yes, nepotism, and it is a very frustrating thing for people who actually can do something. We just take one person from one place and then we focus on that one person, but then we tend to forget the other people who have a particular set of abilities and some kind of talent, and then we forsake them instead.
That's a very, very genuine, you know, thought that you have just expressed, and I can tell you this very much, Deity, that this is an anger that is there
Yes,
with a
ma'am.
lot of youth. You agree to that? You know, sometimes what you see around frustrates you and therefore takes you into expressing yourself in the diary.
Yes, I would say.
So, what do you write about?
I write sonnet, I write free verse, and yes, I write quatrains. And in all of this poetry, basically, I have two main themes. That is Mother Nature and the culture of Khasi.
Okay.
Khasi cultural heritage.
Right.
We Khasi people living in the state of Meghalaya, we are very rich with our culture. So I stress basically with this theme. And in all of the writing that I write like based on my personal life experience. What I see, I write. So
nice that you are one of the person who feels so strongly about your culture. Do you think that slowly this cultural heritage that we have, you know, it is a legacy, a heritage, is eroding? You know, the youth sometimes move away, too much embracing westernization, and thereby what is happening to our indigenous culture, say for instance the Khasi Jayantiya culture, which is so rich, which is so varied, and it has a rich legacy, is sometimes, you know, eroding away?
Yes, ma'am, very much. Like with the passage of time, this westernization, modernization have influenced much, and hence we Khasi people, Jayantiya, like we tend to forget our very own identity. May it be socially, politically, religiously, like all aspects of life.
Absolutely, and being rooted to our own culture, to where we come from,
Yes, ma'am.
to the heritage that we belong, is so important, isn't it? I think, you know, all of us, all the people of the Northeast Yumto has a very, very rich heritage. I mean, when I take the instance of Arunachal also, look at their cultural identity in the form of their dressing. Each tribe have their own identity. Right? So you are proud of that also?
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm really proud of the culture. As you said, ma'am, it's about the identity.
Yeah.
When we have culture, for example, I can see the example. He wears a necklace.
Yeah, that's
so
called the
we can
paila,
identify him from where he belongs.
Right.
So it plays a crucial role in identification, or let's say there is beauty in it, in culture.
Yeah, and you know, Deity, you want to share a word also in this?
Yes, ma'am. That is also one thing that frustrates me. Basically, we are so much into modernization, like Ben Hun Lang said. We we follow an aesthetic that everyone else follows, but then we ourselves, we don't have our own identity. Where we come from, we tend to forget. You know, basically around our age, we consider someone who speaks very good English a very intelligent and a very intellectual person. But then we must also think that a person isn't defined by how much he can speak English, but then how much he can provide for society.
And Pinhun Lang, you write in Khasi, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
You write in Khasi. So before we proceed ahead and talk so much more, because y'all, I can make out, are quite deep. Y'all are thinking about the society, about the surroundings, and what y'all are seeing every day, and that is so important for the youth, right? So that you can bring about the change. Unless you talk about it, unless it bothers you, you'll not be able to change, because sometimes you need to also speak up.
Yes.
So what is it that you write? What have you brought for us, Pinhun Lang? Can you share with us right now?
So this is my diary where I write all of my poems.
Okay.
So
and since when have you started writing, basically?
I start writing just after the COVID era, in the year 2021. Out of nowhere, I start writing poetry. Yes, it just came, and I discovered that, oh wow, the art of writing poetry is one of the best thing that I can do
So
to transform my mind. So I would love to read one of my sonnet. It's I entitled it as Kimatti Shongsbai.
Okay. You can give us a quick translation of it after you read it out for us, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So it goes like this. The title of the poetry is Kimatti Shongsbai. Kari khasi, kari uni ukong, kari longshua, kari tibru tiblai, kari dap riuslur, kari ki klawat, kari ki akhya, kari ki kaitor. Hapa ki don shibun Kimatti Shongsbai, Blabu longshua ban peteng ban nek syirta. Ya ka jinglong kerpang kari khasi, longshua kibu daki mati shongsbai. Kipor kiyat sangsot yari khasi, long din laja jinglong jing im khasi. Riti dustur duai pirat latroin, haka hok kasot omdon syubapet ngor. Barok mati kelalong serdep jat, syae ayom ksiar, pajak jelang mentang. So this is a sonnet that I write. That we Khasi people, like before our foreparents have done a very great work, and they want us to preserve their footprints and use it in our daily life, maybe social, cultural, political, all aspect of life. And also they expect us to carry it to the next generation so that our identity will still alive. So basically it's an elegy, I would say, in Khasi ka poetry benyau, about the laws that we have.
Right, right. So wonderful, so well said, you know, because this is so true to what we see around us, right? I mean, the erosion is happening so fast, so quick, but fortunately we have people like you who are still holding on. So you all can pass on the message to the next lot. So Deity, what do you have for us today?
I have a poem that I wrote recently out of frustration. I'm very grateful to have very loving parents who encouraged me to be a free thinker, and this is one of the poems I wrote out of anger and frustration. It is called We Were Told This Was Living. We are lucky, they say, we had it worse, that the war is over, the bread is store-bought, and the wolves stay outside the door. Well, I don't feel lucky, I feel numb. I wake up to a world already shouting, faces stretch into practiced joy, voices telling me to chase more, be more, want more, fix what isn't broken, kill what's soft, and somehow I'm still supposed to thrive. Thrive, what a word to throw, like a brick through the skull of someone barely making rent, with a degree that we were told would mean something. We passed the test, jumped the hoops, but the doors stay shut unless your father knew someone. We are cracked glass held together by direct debit and motivational posts about discipline. But it's not discipline when exhaustion is branded as ambition and you're applauded for burning out quietly. Tell me, how are we supposed to live in a world where feeling is now a political thought, where saying I'm not okay means you're broken, not just aware, where apathy is called freedom, where silence is called peace, We've been raised on false choices. Speak up and get crushed. Stay quiet and rot inside. Life is not supposed to be fair, they say. Well, what was even fair in the first place when price of everything goes up and the value of human life goes down? I don't want your resilience. I want your rage. I want your rebellion. I want blood in the mouth of this machine that calls itself civilization. We weren't built to survive this slow decay. We're not living, we're coping, existing, numbing, pretending we're fine, but we're not fine, and I'm furious. And if no one else will say it, I will scream it until the sky splits. This world is not enough, this life is not life, and I will not go quietly into your good little grave.
Very, very powerful. We'll come back to that a little bit, because there's so much of pressure to the youth, so much of expectation that is there. Nobody is there to listen to us. Everything is thrusted upon us, and you all are supposed to just follow the line, right? So that can build up sometimes, I understand. We'll come back to that aspect. Let's now listen to Yumto. What are you sharing with us today?
This is one of my favorite poems, I would say, ma'am. And the name of my poem is Walking the Shore.
Okay.
Blow horn in the city road, whoop cry in the busy street, so loud my head is dead. Where to lay my sick head? Far from the city light, away from the bustling sight, a place to heal my core, I walk along the seashore. A place to heal my core, I walk along the seashore. So this poem is, I wrote this poem in the present time where we could get everything but not peace, the mental peace. So I look for mental peace. So in this poem, I try to find through nature the peace I need, the mental peace I need.
I heard all three of you, and it is so wonderful. I don't know from where these words are coming to your mind. Do all of y'all read? Are y'all reading? Do y'all also have the habit of reading?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all of y'all read? What kind of readings y'all do?
I read fiction, ma'am.
Fiction.
Especially,
Yeah.
I read first. I made with George Orwell, Animal Farm, and then when it comes to poetry, I fell in love with Robert Frost. And then I also read Kafka, French Kafka, and his book Metamorphosis. It's a short novella. So I read it twice.
How lovely. And what about y'all?
Ma'am, me and Yumto fell in love together with the same writers.
Okay.
My first book was Animal Farm by George Orwell. I don't read Sylvia Plath, but then I know some of her poetry. I also read Franz Kafka, Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud.
Yes, right now I'm reading Sigmund Freud.
You find him, does it add more to your frustration when you read him, Freud?
Yes, I feel like...
He's very dark, right?
Yeah, he is dark, but then for me, writing isn't about all the things that are pretty. It's not about wanting to feel good or wanting to be happy, but I want to show a mirror to society to show this is wrong and we must do something about this.
Yes, that's right, because life is just not black and white, right?
Yeah.
We are not always want to portray and be the happy person. There is another shade that is black, right? But then there's also a grey. Do you think that, Pinhun Lang, that reading helps to better your language, your expression? Do you think that it can also influence you into a certain direction of thought?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
It does, yes. Like in my case, I compose poetry in Khasi language.
Right.
The reason is, most of the time I read Khasi writings,
of course,
which is written by Melung Sosotham. I was really impressed by his way of writing. I love reading, and he is one of my inspiration. Yes, right. I would say. And also Melung Sosotham. He was also one of the my inspiration. I took it as an inspiration. When I read his writing, I was deeply impressed by his way of writing, and also the great work done by writing done by Kanpam Singh Nongkandri. All of these writers, when I read their books, their writings, I get that sense that they write, I read, and yes, I feel like I read their writings, and I hope that one day someone will read my writings.
Wow.
So
nice,
yes.
so nice. They say that, we should always amplify, we should always dream to be big, right? Then only we reach there. So when we're talking about dreams, what is it that you all want to be someday? How much forward you all want to push your writings ahead in the near future?
I didn't really think that I would do something with writing. I did it merely as an escape from whatever I'm feeling. Right as of now, I don't have any set of goals, but then I believe that I trust.
Keep writing.
Yes, I keep writing. I trust in God. Whatever He shows me a way, I'll follow that path.
Yeah, I'm sure that what you're thinking today will certainly change 5 years from now, because we evolve, right?
Yes.
We not only grow physically but also in the way we think. So, Yumto, you plan to take it forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Also
Sure,
in the
ma'am.
future, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking of asking you all this question because her what she read was very, very powerful and very strong. Frustrations, anger stems from the fact that so much of expectations from parents, number one, from the society at large, from the teachers, from everybody, from the community. Nobody is asking what I want, what you people want. Right? So do you think that it really sometimes, can create a lot of negativity in your mind because, there's so much that people expect you to become, and if you don't follow that straight-jacketed, that path that is laid before you, like how she said, you are kind of conditioned to follow that. And if you're different, means you are a little weird. Do you think that is how the society treats us sometimes? And therefore it adds to being angry and to be upset about sometimes?
Yeah, most of the time it is. As I see, most of the time it is that people, for example, I'll take myself. I become something, or I think something, or I talk about something where I don't think about myself, where I expect maybe validation, I would say. Because if I'm not accepted in the conversation or in the room, then where would I go? I would at the present time I would think that. So most time people think most time people take the validation.
Yeah,
because
that's true. That's true. If we don't follow that straight-jacketed path, that means you are not accepted.
Yes.
Right, and that the youth, I think it can really, really hurt them. And when it hurts them, they either go in the wrong channel, wrong path, or do something wrong, right? So as we are almost closing, I will not let you go before I hear one more work from each one of you, your composition. So, Pinhun Lang, what is it that you want to share with us? You write primarily in Khasi only?
Yes, ma'am, most of the time I write in Khasi. I do write in English, but then very...
Yeah, you feel more comfortable with
Khasi.
Khasi. Yeah, yes. Very well done. Let's hear you once again.
Okay. I would love to read this one poetry. I entitled this poetry as Jing Im Samla. So it goes like this. Karta jinglong samla kalong kabamayan, bahaka kasyong katendrai kabanwan. Labahanis niu day kanikein banrai, bakata pethu kun samla bat syarai. Kani karta ubriu usit kasnam, bahateng-hateng upalat yuput usam. Ban mangkaryang jingmut hakane kabama, bayok poi hap hakalanot kasaja. Kadai kapor yubriu ban penkre, kadai kapor bajing syai keny untebe. Kapor ban sian bat shinrang kamensim, bajing suk jing baha unbat haka jing im. Jing im samla dei kabas ngau baha shisha, bahaka uni kabriu dang laj utala. Henry lada haka ngilong kemi long kpa, om tip jing bang jing tiang tang jing e suda. Ondayaka uni kabriu kila job tiau, kan poi sakapali ban wat kthau wat kiau. Kapor kan lam wat bam jakluj samla, ba yapi hi ublei nong thau ular benta. So this is a poem that I write regarding the beauty of youth life, and as well as the child marriage. That I write this poem by my based on my personal life experience, that many of the youth at a very young age they get married, so they didn't get to enjoy and don't get to explore more what is youthful life really all about. So it's my concern.
So wonderful, really, really. I'm so impressed with each one of you. Deity, anything else you would like to share with us?
Yes, ma'am. I'm also inclined towards women's concerns.
Okay.
And this is from a point of view, a personal experience on how the world treats women. Obedience is not consent. There are two kinds of wind that pass through these walls. One moves freely, bare-chested, it is unbordered, unrushed, it is granted the liberty of the sky. The other is stitched into modesty, told to fold its wings and not draw too much sun. Where one is allowed to burn while, like summer, the other is told to dim, to soften, to behave like dusk. The clock ticks differently too. Some are granted hours that stretch past midnight, while others are confined to the frail safety of twilight. After a certain hour, the soil beneath their feet starts to whisper threats instead of lullabies. Curfew don't hang from gates, they hang from bodies, from birth. And then there are the unspoken commandments woven into the fabric. Sleeves must reach further than dreams, and skin, if shown, must carry shame like perfume, invisible, but always present. It is not the body that offends, but the audacity to be comfortable in it. Rules bloom like thorns, but only in one garden. They call it tradition, discipline, culture, but it is control varnished in virtue. It is a hymn written by those who never had to shrink themselves to fit inside a rule book. The blueprint was always titled, "One side walks freely, the other walks carefully." But silence is not peace, and obedience is not consent. There will come a time when the tide, no longer willing to contain in a cup, will rise. It will not beg to be understood. It will not seek permission. It will be both grace and force, a storm that remembers.
Wonderful. I like the title, Obedience is not consent.
Yes.
Absolutely. Quickly, as we are wrapping up, what is it that you would like to share with us, Yumto?
Ma'am, I wrote this poem in remembrance of my parents.
Okay.
So the poem, the title of my poem is I'm 21. I'm 21, a day turns my date 71. Mom's wrinkled wrist, back bend, can held her walking cane. I love to be cold and elder, but I hate they are getting older. Finding for an old adage that says they could exempt their old age. I'm 21, on repeat stressed out, the song of 21 Pilots. I'm 21, my love will stay still in your 91.
How wonderful. This is all that time permits us, and it's such a blessing for us, such an honor for us actually to have all three of you here in the studios to be able to talk a little bit, to understand you a little bit. I wish each one of you tons of good luck. Please continue to write. We all have so much passion inside you. Let it flow out freely so that you can bring that meaningful change that each one of you wish to do in the near future.
Thank you.
Good luck
so
to
much,
each
ma'am.
one of you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, ma'am.
Well then, my dear friends, that's the three students from Union Christian College. I'm sure that you have been impressed today by listening to them, the depth of their thought and what they pen down in their pages through their writings. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and you'll join us next time again when we will bring before you another set of students to express themselves and to speak to them. Until such time, from all of us here and the entire team of Doordarshan, it's wishing you goodbye.